Inside Analysis with Any Guy and Jerry Atric. Now in HD.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Inside Analysis. I'm Any Guy, live from our brand new facilities, Studio J Squared. We even have a desk this time, and I've got a new wardrobe. And of course, to my left, I also have a brand new broadcast partner, which, let's be honest, is great for you guys since nobody wants to listen to that old fart Jerry Reese anymore. Now we're going to go over to my new broadcast partner, bring him into your internet, computer screens, TV screens, wherever you're watching this. It is Jerry Atric.
Well, thank you very much, Annie. That was the most beautiful introduction I have ever received in my life. It is like the heavens spread wide open and angels came down. Well, not all the way down, but they probably came halfway down and started singing the praises of Jerry Atric. That is me, once again. Now, let me tell you something, Annie. It is a huge loss for Duct Tape Productions and Inside Analysis that Jerry Reese is no longer with us anymore on this program.
Not to me.
Oh, so it seems you are a little bit bitter.
I just felt...
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but speaking of huge, can we get the shot real quick of this? Do you see this right here on my forehead? This is probably the biggest pimple that I have ever encountered in my life, and I am far beyond my teenage years. Let me tell you something. If you dialed the area code 66-ZIT, you would probably reach my pimple right here. This thing is massive.
All right. That's great, but I think maybe we should stick to the topic at hand. Maybe we can save your zit for, I don't know, a Clearasil commercial or something. I think now we should stick to what we're here for, and that's the game this week. It's the Minnesota Vikings hosting, for real this time, the Dallas Cowboys. And we're going to be breaking that down here on Inside Analysis, brought to you by Cocoa Cane. Just because it looks like sugar doesn't mean it is.
Is it true that the Jets flew all the way to Minnesota because of the heavy downpour last week, and is that why they did not host the Vikings at the new Meadowlands Stadium?
Yes, as you did see on Monday Night Football that the Jets hosted the Minnesota Vikings in the new Meadowlands Stadium. However, our game was expedited, and due to the lightning in the area, and Rex Ryan, the New York Jets being great sports, they decided to go to Minnesota and let them host the game. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way in the real NFL, and we apologize for that. We'll make sure in the future we always got it spot on. In addition, I'd also like to mention that is why we will not see Sidney Rice play any longer, or any players in any future games who are injured will be on the sideline because, well, we did it live and we messed up. These things happen. We're going to make sure everything is as real as it can be in the future for you, because that's what we strive for here on Inside Analysis.
Well, Annie, why don't we go ahead and give the fans at home the game makers and the game breakers for each team. Why don't you start with the Minnesota Vikings?
All right, for the Minnesota Vikings, if I'm going to go with their game maker, it's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to have to take number 84, Randy Moss. He has always held a big-time grudge against the Dallas Cowboys for not drafting him 8th overall in that draft when he came out. He's always held a vendetta against every team who didn't pick him, and Dallas Cowboys has always been a team he's tried to make pay for that. He's had a great career against the Dallas Cowboys. I think it continues this week. However, the game breaker for the Minnesota Vikings, I'm going to be forced to go with the man slinging the football to Randy Moss, Brett Favre. He's going to have his mistress, Jen Sturger, up in the press box, and well, I saw the pictures of Brett's manhood this week, and I was underwhelmed. If you've got a penis that small, you can't be playing quarterback that great. So, there you go.
And now I will go ahead and give you the game maker for the Dallas Cowboys. Well, let's just say game makers. Yeah, I'm going to go there and say it's more than one individual. It is going to be the Dallas Cowboys wide receiving core. We saw Roy Williams last week step up, play very well. Miles Austin, caught, making defenders miss. Whoopsie. And that's a touchdown, 6 points on the board. They failed. It was a losing effort, but that is because of the game breaker. The game breaker for the Cowboys is exactly the man throwing them the football. football, and that is Tony Romo, wearing the number 9, as in how many interceptions you probably already have. Listen, man, you got to take control of that offensive line, get in their heads, maybe slap their ass a couple of times, sideways, backways, around ways, and tell them, look, you got to protect me, because I am making mistakes out there, and this team is now 1-3, and I look for them actually to lose this game and go 1-4.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about predictions, I'm going to have to stick with you on that. I'm going to have to say that the Minnesota Vikings are going to win this football game, in my opinion. I believe they're home. I believe they've got a bunch of energy. People are going to want to see Randy Moss for the first time in that stadium. They're going to be energized. Adrian Peterson's somebody who you're still going to have to watch out for. And as long as Favre, with his manhood, keeps his pants up and not pants on the ground, keeps his tendonitis, ouch, my elbow, and is able to stay in the game for 4 quarters, I think he'll be able to make enough good throws to get him the victory. I'm going to go Minnesota Vikings 27, Dallas Cowboys 17.
Well, I almost agree with you. I'm going to say that Brett Favre will do the pants on the ground dance, but that'll be in the playoffs sometime at a later date. But I will say that, yes, I'm going to also go with the Minnesota Vikings coming off of a tough loss against the New York Jets and rolling down the road that they don't want to be going down. I just don't see the Dallas Cowboys rebounding like I would see the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go with a final score of 27-10 in the favor of the Minnesota Vikings. Annie?
All right, well, that's pretty much all we have for you today on the pregame. It's going to be the Minnesota Vikings hosting the Dallas Cowboys. We hope you gave you a good inside analysis here, and we'll see you on the postgame to wrap things up. Enjoy the game, ladies and gentlemen. For Jerry Atric, I'm Any Guy. We'll see you next time on Inside Analysis. The back, 3 receivers. They got buried in the slot. Back, looking, back to the middle of the field. It's intercepted! Terrence Newman picks it off, and he's somebody who can shut the field goal team out here. But do they have faith in Derek Bueller? It looks like they do. He gets it off, and the kick splits the uprights.
Well, safety first right there, and Wade Phillips, knowing that his job may be in jeopardy, decided to take the sure 3 points.
Come out, staying in the gun, empty backfield. 5 receivers, 3 to the left with Williams on the outside. And almost tipped. Des Bryant, a missed tackle, and it looks like Des Bryant's going to gallop into the end zone. The Dallas Cowboys with a touchdown.
The same exact position that the Vikings were in last week.
Split out to the right. And they are looking. He's going to put it up deep. Randy Moss out there by himself. He's able to make the catch, break the tackle, and Randy Moss himself just gets into the end zone. Randy Moss was down the field. Brett Favre saw the single coverage, put the ball up, and Randy Moss was able to beat his man and make the play just like that. The Minnesota Vikings have now brought the game within 3 points on a big play to Randy Moss.
Anytime Brett Favre chucks the ball up in number 84's direction, it spells trouble. T-R-U. Never mind.
3 receivers. And his back is looking. It's intercepted by Lito Shepard. What an amazing... Now bringing a blitz. Randy Moss wide open, and he walks right into the end zone.
Why is the best player on Minnesota's offense wide open on that play?
And a wide open Jason Baby Witten who
like
makes a man move, and he
Cowboys
gets right
have got
into the
it on
end
the
zone. Might get
board.
Ochocinco on the phone, might get Terra with him, might get Tiocho. But now, Percy Harvin taking the kick. He's coming up the left side. And now, he makes a move to the outside. It looks like he's going across the 50. He's to the 40, the 30, the breast cancer sign.
There are no flags.
5,
there are no
flags.
Wow.
And Percy Harvin takes a lunge into the end zone. He's got Williams to the left. And he's going to score! Des Bryant was found on the right side of the field. Tony Romo finds him wide open.
Back to win this game. Good job, Tony Romo.
Yeah, you're right about that. Hello, and welcome to the Inside Analysis post-game show. I'm Any Guy, alongside my broadcast partner, Jerry Atric. This post-game show, I'd like to let you know before anything else, is brought to you by the Budweiser Womanizer Draft. Because if she's drunk enough, anyone can get it. Now, we just witnessed one hell of a football game. The Dallas Cowboys were able to come away with the victory 24-21 over the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Jerry Atric, your thoughts?
Well, it's almost as if Tony Romo heard the voice of Mr. Atric and said, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to prove you wrong live here in Minnesota. And you know what he did with that help of that receiving call? He spread the ball around 225 yards through the air and 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Not bad for Tony Romo.
Yeah, and you want to talk about bad. Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. Brett Favre only able to throw the ball 9 times in that game, completed the ball 3 times to one receiver the entire game, Randy Moss. Granted, he did have 2 touchdowns. Adrian Peterson, in my opinion, didn't get the football enough, and Brett Favre made the one key mistake early in the football game. Did the play action, threw the pick right to Terrence Newman, tried to chuck it up to Moss, 1 time too many, and it was a big turnover that really ended up costing them the game. They're Minnesota no-go-to this week.
A big turnover, well said by you, a big turnover equals a bad call, but this is the Miller Lite good call of the game. It's the fact that Wade Phillips chose to kick the field goal at the end of the half and take the sure 3 points. That, my friend, is a good call.
And
good
we're going to tell you why you can enjoy a Miller on us, Wade Phillips, because if you didn't make that call, you end up winning the game by 3 points. You know you're getting the ball at halftime. It's 4th and inches. You feel like you could just get it in a chew. You fall forward and you'll have the first down. But he says, oh no, we're going to put our unreliable, strong-legged kicker David Bueller out there and hope he can just get it to squeak inside the upright, and he was able to put it right down the middle. One hell of a kick, one hell of a call. You win the game by 3 points on calls like that, and they got the ball back at halftime. Drove right down the field on a big Ford Mack truck and got a touchdown. So, I mean, I'll tell you what, a great game overall. A lot of exciting fireworks. The first half was kind of...
Well, I'd be concerned if I was Brad Childress. I mean, you came back and won last week against the Jets after being 10 down, but guess what? You and your team found yourselves in the same exact hole this week. Is Brett Favre too old? Is it his penis that is coming into play and compromising the whole operation in Minnesota?
Yeah,
now that Randy Moss is there, does he have the help he needs?
Yeah.
Or is he still not right in the head with the elbow tenderness? What is going on with Brett Favre, man?
Well, let me tell you right now, I've got to say, first and foremost, I believe getting Randy Moss on that football team was absolutely the right thing to do. I mean, I got to say, even though they lost the football game, the play of the game might go to Minnesota when Favre went back, cocked his tendonitis elbow, and limped that arm forward, and that ball flung down the field. Randy Moss, in between 2 defenders, makes the catch, breaks a tackle, walks into the end zone. I have to say, that was probably the play of the game. And then, getting another touchdown later in the game, he was the only Minnesota receiver who caught a mother pass during this game. And you know what? I got to say, if you can have one player catch the pass 3 times from one quarterback to one receiver, and they still led the football game 21-14 at a certain point, 21-17, I'm sorry, at a certain point, then you got to believe they're doing the right things. But I do believe this football team is only going to go as far as Brett Favre takes them. Adrian Peterson, he's a great running back. They're going to give the ball to him, and he's going to try to bulldoze his way over teams and get them yards. But eventually teams are going to put 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and some fans in the box to try to stop Peterson. And once they do, Favre's going to have to get back there, dust off that old arm, get the tendonitis loose, fling it around, and right now, he's not proven that he can get it done.
Well, it's not really looking good for the Vikings. They drop another one here, and maybe it looks like Brett Favre will not be singing pants on the ground this year. An NFC Championship game is very unlikely. Well, let me tell you about the Cowboys. Tony Romo really came into his own in this game, and he proved me wrong. He proved a lot of you fans back at home wrong. He was able to hold his own. He showed great composure in this game. He did throw an interception at the beginning of the first half, but he trusted his blocks. He trusted his receivers. He threw 3 touchdown passes, and it was a very, very successful effort by Tony Romo. And I'm being told to continue. With the rambling of Tony Romo and the saga. Maybe I could go into something about the number 9. Or how it relates to the number 6 and 6-9 and 69.
I don't believe it. I mean, looking at this slate of games next week, I'm being told from Duct Tape Productions, is it possible our game next week could be the Sunday night game, the Minnesota Vikings again being hosted by the Green Bay Packers?
We should just call this Inside the Vikings or Inside Brett Favre's penis. I mean, really? 3 weeks in a row?
I don't know. It seems like that could be what we're seeing this week, but we're going to have to let you go for now because that's all the time we have on Inside Analysis. Perhaps we'll get a different game going next week if too many people are too sick of the purple, but it'll be tough to find a better game than that for next week.
Don't forget the pink. I mean, purple and pink is a good combination.
It is. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If you've got breasts, check them.
Now, let's be honest.
All right, good. That was a good call by you. So we're going to end it here. For Jerry Atric, I'm Any Guy. Drink your Budweiser Womanizer and get laid tonight.